everyone, Jerrel from Sungrand here. Today I wanted to share my tool that I'm creating called the Sungrand Soul Builder. I shared a short clip of this last night with a short video clip on YouTube. I thought it'd be nice to chat face to face here and show a little bit more. So the reason why I'm creating this tool is because I want to be able to create RPGs more efficiently and very quickly while not having to sacrifice on the quality or detail or fidelity of the characters, and I want to be able to create on other platforms as well. So this tool will actually be able to help me create characters quickly and then also pre-render those for sprite sheets. So if I want to create a game where the characters need to be 2D and the game is sprite based, I can build the characters very quickly using my Sungrand Soul Builder tool, and it will handle all the animations for me. By the time I reach a certain point in development for this tool, I'll be able to click a button and say I want to format these sprite sheets for, format these a particular way. Press the button, it'll pose the characters in all the frames that they need to be posed in, and then it will render them out into a sprite sheet for me, and I can use them in other game engines and whatnot. So in general, what really gives RPGs, or say you have a modern 3D RPG, what really gives it that traditional isometric look is to zoom way out with the camera, and actually for your field of view to reduce, be quite low. So let's say something like 20, right? No, 20, something like that. Okay, let's say something like 15, and that sort of gives it this sort of squashed look of a sprite, right? And in general, once you have that lower field of view value, you can actually sort of tilt that. So you see the value on the rotation. I brought that right down to 40, okay, or right up to 40. And now if I bring this camera forward, you can see it starts to have more and more of that genuine sprite look. Now this is kind of higher resolution, but once it's rendered out with a transparent background, then it's a lower resolution, and you have your post-screen shaders, your full camera effects, and you have your lighting just right, then it looks very convincing. So I'm going to make my sunlight just a little bit stronger just to amplify the effect of the sunlight here. I'm using a custom shader that gives it a little bit more of a sort of a pixel look, but if this were to be lower resolution, it'd be pretty convincing as a hand-drawn sprite. And the idea is to use these shapes and colors to fill in the shape and the form of what would be on sprite artwork. So once this is lower resolution, I can render it out and it'll look pretty convincing. But also I can just load these characters. The format is called the Sungrand Soul, or an SSE for a Sungrand Soul character. I can load these into games and they can just use the format. If I hit the run button here, you'll see that the characters will be animated, and it'll handle all the animations for them. So if I click on the character here and turn on, you can rotate him around. He's fully usable. All the logic for the animations, of course, will be based on the game that I'll be using him in, but all the details are on the character, and the point of this tool is to make it easy for me to create these. So let's say I wanted to create a brand new NPC. Let's see here. So if I just go to this full template here, and the full source, and let's say I wanted him a little pudgy, right? So I know that there's quite a few things in here that I don't need. Now, as I develop this tool further, I'll make it so that I can just have a menu that opens up, and I can delete the components that right now I'm deleting the components I don't need. But what I will have in the future is a menu that'll open up, and I can click on something and I can say, add a t-shirt, add long pants, make this person muscular, or make this character kind of skinny. Then it will add and remove the components as needed. I might say give them a belt, give them a chest belt, give them a shoulder pad. Right now I'm just manually copying and pasting components into this character, because at the moment This is still very early in development. I've only had a couple days development on this Sungran Soul Builder system. So I'll be developing it further. So let's just say this is NPC Man 1. Okay. And if I go to my materials, right now I can drag and drop. So I'll put the skin on there. And the face, of course, is on a separate material, so I can animate the face separately. I can have different expressions or animations in there. If you can click those, let's see how to create an NPC. And again, in the future, more of this process will be automated. Right now, I'm still actually really just creating the basics of the system. But in the future, it'll be menu driven, and I can use menus so I can create these characters even faster. But right now, this is such a fast process. This is such a delight to use this system. What I'm doing is creating a bunch of components that are template components, and the template components allow me to create these things very quickly by just dropping in. I can drag and drop my components into there. Let's see, how about we go something like bottom one here, like a slave. And let's see, I kind of wanted these to be, I have components for shorts, I just haven't put them in there. Let's see, but if I did want to, I can adjust the components thusly, like that. So now he's like a little chunkier. There we go. So you can see you can customize and modify each particular component. I know there's skinnier legs in there, so we'll go like that. And we want these to be, let's see, skin. And I'm almost at the point now where I can spend some time creating a couple dozen different hair styles, and then I can drop them in as components and mix and match. With the shoes here, of course, I'll have a couple different kinds of shoes. Let's see, so we got feet. And there we go, I have an NPC. I'm going to name this guy SSC NPC Man 1. I should all caps on the NPC, of course, because it's an acronym. And there we go. And of course, as I develop the system further, I'll have different styles of eyeballs and faces that I can just drag and drop in there. But now I have an NPC, so I eventually will have the system developed further to where I can hit a button and say, render this out for, I don't know, RPG Maker or some other game engine, Defold or what have you. Or I want to make a game for Playdate. And then I can specify how it'll create the sprite sheets, it'll pose that character for me, and then render it out for me. So I actually make the hands on these characters a bit bigger because I want them to be able to hold weapons, and I want the weapons to be quite large, so they have what you would call screen presence. But because this is an NPC and he doesn't need to hold weapons necessarily, I'm going to shrink his hands right on down. I'm shrink them down like that. Okay? And now I will eventually have other components, say for example like collars or hats, different styles of shirts and whatnot. These are just, generic torso. So I'm in front of the glossiness slider here, which is a little annoying. I might move myself later on. But you can adjust the glossiness of your character. You can put normal maps. You can put your base color map in there. But really the whole point is to have this is the end product here. You can use it for 3D, obviously, but I want to be able to use this for 2D rendering. And I've been wanting to make this is my favorite game genre. I've been thinking about RPGs for years. I've been coming up with game concepts for years. But the bottleneck is always, it's a lot of content. It takes so long to just even draw on one NPC. And now you can see that in just a couple of minutes I've created a character that can be used as an NPC, and it didn't take me a whole lot of time, and I can create endless variations. I can create more different kinds of sleeves. I can create more kinds of shirts. Look, if I wanted, I could just take this guy's sleeves off. I can click that, and that I could hit the delete button, or I can just hide them. And you can see now he's sleeveless. You can put gloves on him. You know, you can do whatever. You know, let's just, because we've said that, let's see what kind of gloves are in here by default. So let's just say I wanted to give him gloves. There. Now he's got gloves. And there we go. So this is the whole point of this system, is to make it easy and fast to make characters of good quality, good detail, good fidelity. They can be unique, and I can have them fully rigged up and ready to use, and engine ready, basically. Later on, again, I'll have to create the system that produces the tile sheets, and I can use them in other game engines. And this is quite, I had considered sharing this tool with people online, but it's not to a point where I can share it, because it would take an extreme amount of instruction, and right now I'm not at a point where I can spend the time creating those instructions. So anyway, I hope you thought that was interesting, and I hope you're looking forward to my upcoming games. I am working on something. I want to make an RPG, and I want to make something that is not complicated. That's just a classic RPG experience with modern sensibilities, and it's something that I've been looking for, and it's not something that I've seen or found, and it's something that I really want for myself personally. So that's why I'm creating this, and I hope that people enjoy this when I do share it. It's got a cheeky little name. It's called Breath of Thunder. Okay, take care of yourselves, everyone. Be well. Take care, and I hope you thought that was interesting. Please feel free to comment if you have any questions. Take care of yourselves. I'll share more soon.